sit here and stare at you the whole time.
Okay.
To make you nervous.
I suppose since it's gears and beers, I should go get a beer, right?
Probably. How's everybody else doing today?
Fantastic.
Splendiferous?
Yep. Well, not really, but yeah, you know,
Decent?
sounds good.
Everyone's full of energy, I can tell.
You look the least full of energy. You look like you have resting bitch face right now.
Right now, it's a lifelong affliction, bud.
Fox always has resting bitch face.
Yeah. Hey, I'm pretty full of energy. I've already walked down to the chicken coop and all kinds of shit since I've been on here.
Yeah, Johnson, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
What are you doing?
Well,
Are you
down to the
hiking?
chicken coop. I went down to the chicken coop initially, and then I came inside, grabbed my belt, since that was the topic that I wrote down for today, so it'd be nice to have a visual aid. And then I grabbed a rifle out of the safe and a beer out of the fridge.
Oh, all right. Just checking.
You want me to continue play-by-play? I'm walking out into the middle of my yard. Well,
It's pretty darn nice out.
it's fucking gorgeous out.
It's
man.
fucking gorgeous out.
I just don't know if my battery's gonna make it, so I'm probably gonna have to switch to the computer, and it'll probably get dark anyway. So you know.
God, you guys are such poor planners.
Why?
You're walking around outside with your planning on having your battery die and shit. Foresight, man. Foresight.
Well, the foresight of it is, Box, is that I already have Hangouts open on my computer, so I literally have to click the video button on this phone call, and guess what? I'm in on my computer.
Oh, wow. So convenient.
Yeah, and my problem was I thought it was
planned this since his phone battery wasn't going to make it the whole time.
Yeah, and in my defense, I thought it was Tuesday.
Okay, well, mine doesn't tell me how many people are watching once again. So
I don't know as if we're live.
yeah, we are. We've been live for 3 minutes, almost 2.5 minutes.
Oh, okay. 10, I think.
We've got.
It's just weird since we can still see you on the Hangouts.
Yeah, I finally figured something out how to do that.
Check that out.
Right?
Yeah.
It was
Damn,
really
it only
easy. I
took-
was just pretty stupid. I should have thought of it before. I just assumed it was impossible.
Nope, can't do it. I'm recording my video on this one. Can't do it with the other one.
All right, little fat dog.
All right, well, we might as well get started then. Hey.
Mike, Jim,
How you doing?
Jay, what's up, fellas? How's it going?
All right. Well, welcome to another live nudes episode, or live episode of Gears and Beers, everybody. I'm your professional host, the owner of Ballistic Imagery. Thank you, Toad.
Did you say live news or live nudes? Because I could have sworn you said live nudes.
I
And I got
totally,
really worried for a minute.
I 100% live nudes.
Well,
I will not be stripping this episode. Wait until next week.
Yeah, me either.
if Johnson gets into the tequila and wine like he did a few episodes ago, he may be stripping.
Oh my God,
A
yeah.
few episodes ago, that was like 9 months ago.
Yeah.
Yoda might stop by.
Yeah,
Who?
no kidding.
Oh, Yodas? Yeah. It's been a while since we've seen that crazy bastard. What do you
Yeah,
guys
I'm trying to fend him off.
yeah. What are you guys
Yeah.
drinking tonight?
Miles says he got really excited.
I am just sipping
Oh.
on the old traditional Bud Latte.
God damn it. I had a big old long spiel
You know, I-
going. You guys just had to interrupt me. Now it's ruined. Nope.
Well,
Way to
we're
go,
good at that,
guys.
Ooh.
You got to warn us.
I got some
oh god.
got
Warn
about
you not to interrupt
4
me.
shots.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Toad.
Oh, I don't know. Sam was asking what we were drinking. I got a vodka sour going. So
Yes, everyone, I did say nudes. I thought that would be hilarious. So I said nudes.
Well, I'm down with that. Give me.
Did you mention nudes?
I am drinking whiskey, so we'll see where the night goes.
Well,
Oh boy,
could get wrapped.
I'll be logging up before then.
Okay, well, anyways,
Pete
I'll
says,
try to
I'm
do
still
this.
driving. I'm just drinking Busch Light.
I'll try to do this introduction. Once again, I am your very professional host, the owner of Ballistic Imagery, providing you with all of your Second Amendment-based photography and videography, or really anything that you want, pretty much. With me tonight is my brother Sam, the owner of Shyworks. He is also a sponsor of tonight's show, and he is Iowa's preferred Cerakote applicator. And also with us are buddies Johnson and Toad, who are not sponsors of this show.
Nope.
No, we just put up with all box of shit.
I just realized no one can see me because it doesn't switch over for me when I'm talking. It just switches over when you guys are talking.
Oh, neat.
So I can see you just fine, but yeah, I realize that now.
You're usually on like one half of it. What happened to that?
Well, I thought I was trying to get... God damn it, I'll fuck it all up if I change anything now. I was hoping that it wouldn't change anything, but yeah.
Not so much. Well, hey, you can't win them all.
That's all right. What are you going to do?
And I have this big old fancy... And fuck, I might as well turn off all my lights. Okay, well, I guess... I'll start.
You're not blinded.
What?
So Box may actually be getting nude tonight if nobody can see him.
Yeah. Well, I never broadcast with pants on, so...
I look all professional, belly button to shoulders, but hey.
Hell yeah.
Belly button, nope.
That's what everybody's doing nowadays, isn't it? Working from home, so they're like, screw it.
Yeah.
Anyways, to start off our gear chat tonight, I found or heard about this thing. They actually announced it at the 2019 SHOT Show, I think, but they've been moving pretty slow with development of it. It's a company called Fire Control Unit. I think Mike Tharp actually talked or mentioned this in our last episode, or one of the models that they offer anyways. They're offering... Well, they have... What it is it's modular... Boy, really fucking this all up here. It uses the fire control unit from the SIG P320, and they have 3 different models of it: the XO1, the XO2, and the XO3. The XO1 is just I'm not really sure what that is, but the XO2, it's your PDW, kind of like your macro Roni or your micro Roni, But the XO3, what they're coming out with is it uses the fire control unit from the SIG P320, but it fits in to an AR style gun, or
So
setup rather.
Is it like their own separate lower, like a non-serialized lower, basically?
Yep. That's
Sweet.
It's a side charger. It has the bolt carrier is a little bit different. It uses a gas key and a bolt from an AR, but the striker is obviously from the P320.
Yeah.
And it accepts any AR barrel in the nut, so you can use any handguard that you want. And it ships, I believe they're going to start shipping it in 5.56, but they're going to make it available in 300 blackout and then 9mm. And the 9mm, you'll be able to use your SIG mags in it.
Oh, that'll be cool.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. I don't know why I didn't throw up a picture of it like I had. So it should be showing up. It looks just like a typical AR, kind of. I mean, you'll notice the back end of the AR or the back end of the receivers are a little bit fatter, and there's no takedown pin at the rear there. So the receivers, they're definitely proprietary, but it looks like your typical AR.
I'm super confused. I read about this today, but it didn't click what the hell it was. I still don't know what it is. Is it just like a lower, basically?
No, it's what you see is what you get besides the fire control unit.
So
You ta-
basically,
you take
bought
the-
a P320,
Yeah.
and now you purchase it,
Oh.
and it's everything except the fire control group trigger assembly, basically from the 320.
Because the fire control group is what's serialized in the P320s.
Yeah.
So
Cool.
you can
I
have
gotcha.
this whole thing shipped to your door.
I got you.
Yeah, it's super
I hear you. That's kind of a cool idea, I guess.
It's definitely one of a kind.
Right. Well,
The-
it's just like a really big step as far as that whole modular fire control group thing from SIG goes. You know, like they've been doing kind of the different grips and different frames and things like that, and being able to put like, you know, the X5 Legion frame, and then getting like your standard 320 carry slide, and people have been doing like the flush mount muzzle or compensators or whatever, and so
Right.
there's been a lot of swapping parts and switching out frames and slides and shit. But to have like a whole AR chassis, basically, for lack of a better term, but an AR chassis to accept that fire control group is pretty cool.
I think there's probably going to be a lot more stuff like this coming out in the next 5 to 10 years. Some really neat stuff.
Oh yeah,
Because there's just in the last 2 years, there's been some huge changes.
well, and even like CZ started doing, or no, was it CZ or was it IWI that started doing the modular, like serializing the fire control group? And who the hell was that? Is your man liquor like that?
Oh yeah,
That's what
they had that patented back in like 2001, but they
They're
never
not
really
gonna do anything with it.
did much with it. No.
I'll tell you what, I'm a huge fan of these systems just because they're so simple to take apart. Like when I disassemble a gun for Cerakote, it's usually like 2 or 3 pins at the most. Pop it out, done. You're ready to rock and roll. So that's why I'm a huge fan of them. But I could see why customers are too. That's kind of I think it's kind of a cool deal.
Yeah.
Miles says, I wonder if you could reverse engineer another fire control group in there from another part and make a spooky ghost gun.
You know,
You've got a 3D printer, Miles.
Right. And I'm sure there's like, I don't know, ways to, I don't know. You know, like there's got to be easy ways to make non-serialized, you know, getting aftermarket parts for, you know, like trigger shoes and disconnectors and things like that for the P320.
Yeah.
You know, if you could piece one together and just kind of build your own, because there's 80% P320 fire control groups too.
What?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there is. Those have been around for years.
Say what?
Yeah, so there's 80%, basically like a polymer 80 for the P320 fire control group. It's the stamped steel part, and you got to drill some holes and file some shit.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So you can basically build a full P320 80% the same way you can a Glock.
Yeah, those have been around for probably, I want to say, just as long as the P80 Glocks have been around, pretty
Probably,
much.
yeah.
If not, maybe longer. You know, I guess I don't know. I couldn't say when they came on the market, but yeah, those have been a thing for quite a while.
Basically, as long as the P320 has been available, they've been making 80% for it.
Yep. I'm just not a SIG guy, so I never got into it, I guess. But
Yeah.
I know there are a lot of guys that are into that sort of thing.
Well, and there's just, I mean, overall, there's like just a ton of aftermarket support for that platform, for the P320.
Oh, it's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
The biggest you've ever seen. It's incredible.
Huge. Yeah.
But I just like, are you guys fans of the 3 box? Are you a fan of your 320?
I'm not really. I mean, I don't hate it. I'll like it more once I do more stuff to it. But no, I'm not a huge fan of it.
I just don't like the way the 320s feel. They're just like the frame that they come with, the original frame, and I realize that can be upgraded to a better frame for like $50, but it just feels like you're holding like something
Correct.
like this. It's just like it's fat, and I just don't like it. It's just I never, and to each their own. Obviously I'm not saying they're bad guns or anything. I'm just not a fan.
Well, and everybody holds, everybody's going to hold a pistol a little different, and everybody's going to like a little different grip or a little different, texture or stippling or whatever. But, there's, I don't know, I think it's so much different from a Glock frame is why I don't know, I guess like a lot of Glock guys don't like them is because they feel completely different than a Glock frame.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I agree with that.
I do think a lot of people also don't like that normal frame, the fat frame. I think I see more X frames than anything now.
Yeah, like the X Carry or the X5 Legion, I would say are probably the most popular frames for the 320.
No, I don't know about the X5 Legion. That's expensive.
Well,
So
yeah, but
don't they make that?
What's that, Toad?
Don't they make that X5 Legion in a 10 mil?
They might.
I don't know about that.
I think I looked at one of those. I know I handled one a while back. I could have sworn it was 10 mil, and that's a nice pistol. I really like that pistol.
Yeah.
I just got one in the shop today.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that is one of the few SIG pistols that I enjoy. Other than, the 365 and the 365 XL, those are different for me, and I enjoy those all right.
I don't know how you like the 365s and not the 320 though.
Because they're totally different. The way that they feel, everything is.
I'm not a huge 365 fan either.
I don't like the 365s at all.
You didn't like that one that we went up and did a review on?
No.
Really?
No. I don't like the triggers.
He got a free T-shirt out of it.
I got 2 free T-shirts out of it.
Yeah, and he wears them all the time.
So yeah, winning. No,
it's the only reason Bob did that review.
I don't know. I like the fact that there's more and more subcompact pistols coming out, but obviously the Springfield Hellcat, the 365, the 365 SAS or whatever the hell whatever they were calling the shit.
The one with recessed sights, basically.
Yeah, I'm glad that we're coming out with all this subcompact shit, but the fact that a company is going into a whole new market and it's like, you know what? We're going to take this cool ass trigger pack that we have serialized and we're going to build a whole AR around it. You can buy the whole son of a bitch, 5.56, 9mm, 300 blackout. You can buy the whole son of a bitch and have it shipped to your house. And you can literally take the trigger pack out of your pistol that you carry every day, drop it in this damn thing and go have fun at the range. Like, that's awesome.
I agree. That is pretty neat. I guess I didn't think of it that way. That is kind of cool.
They can keep going on the same market share that they have, but just to do something completely off the wall like that and something completely new is super cool.
Box, is that did you say you use a proprietary upper? Second try. All right.
Both of the receivers are proprietary. Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, that's the thing though, is you buy it as a complete unit, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I heard TGC say, they were talking about it on a video earlier today, which is actually where I heard it. They said that this company claims that 90% of your AR parts will work on this thing, but I don't know how that could be if even the bolt carrier group is different.
Yeah, I suppose. Well, I suppose if maybe the safety selector, the fire control group, and the bolt carrier is different. I mean,
I didn't see I don't think there is a safety selector.
No.
No.
Well, I don't know. Like that, because you think about it like a buffer tube, castle nut, end plate, handguard, barrel nut, all that stuff is going to be standard AR furniture. I don't know. I guess you'd have to look at the parts count to see how much of it is standard,
Yeah.
But
you know me, I'm all for innovation, so I think it's a fantastic idea. Probably won't be buying.
You gotta come up with more reasons to like things than innovation, man. Jesus Christ, form some opinions.
Well, for me, I think it's cool. Sig has this whole pistol line. They've got all these different frames. They come out with this fire control group that's serialized, so they have all these different frames that you can swap out and slides and all this stuff. And then they they have a wide variety of rifles. I mean, as far as the MCX Virtus, the Rattler, they already have a huge rifle and AR pistol lineup. So to come out with basically another AR, but to crossover on the two markets, that's, genius on their part.
It's not SIG that's doing this.
Right. But I'm saying having that capability, I guess, yeah, it's not SIG doing it, but having somebody able to, to have that forward thought of hey, SIG makes all these rifles, SIG makes all these pistols, but their pistols have the serialized, trigger fire control group. That's pretty cool to me to have that forward thought. So we already know that SIG makes good rifles. Their MCX line is supposed to be pretty top notch. So to have something that can use, SIG components and gonna have a decent name behind them, it's pretty cool.
So who's making it? I thought I was under the assumption that it was SIG as well.
The company is called Fire Control Unit, but Radical Firearms, I believe, will be manufacturing it.
Oh, interesting. Fire control what?
Unit.
Fire control unit.
Oh, you're taking notes over there, huh?
Well, yeah, I'm, yes. So when I go to put this in the podcast form, I know exactly what we talked about, because every other time I had to go back through the entire podcast and find out what the hell we were talking about. It's kind of a pain in the butt. Mike says he's got the XO1.
Yep. That's you mentioned that during the last podcast, and I looked into it, which I'm not gonna lie, Mike, it's ugly as sin.
That's like the PW deal, right?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Those aren't for me.
Have you guys seen it's like a carbine? It's the same general idea, except it takes the entire lower Glock frame and it just basically snaps it up in there. And then that works as, it's the same idea. But that works as your lower receiver essentially. And that's what have you guys seen that?
Are you talking the CAA micro Roni?
No, that takes the entire gun.
Right.
This is a totally different deal.
I think we talked about this before.
I don't recall talking about it with you guys, but we may have, my memory. But yeah, that's all it is. You take the frame part of it and just clicks it in there, and that's all it uses. And it's kind of fugly, but that's pretty sweet too.
Yeah. Mike says the flux defense. The flux defense thing, that's just the quick deploy brace.
Right.
Right. I don't know. I've seen a lot of, I guess a lot of reviews and videos and shit on that flux defense thing. I have and they have a new one don't they have a new one for the M17 as well?
Really?
Like a deployable brace or something like that. Or maybe that's their chassis name for the Glock one that they have. Because they have just the deployable brace as well as a full chassis that the Glock fits in. But I have a hard time figuring out what the hell you would what would be a practical use for that. I don't know.
We've had this argument before, and we went back and forth for half an hour about it.
Did we?
Yeah, we decided Sam's in the wrong.
That's usually
Sam, you're wrong. Just shut
that's
up.
usually your two consensus, you bastards.
That's awesome. That sounds right. That sounds like the conclusion we would have come to. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Bastards.
I don't fully recall the conversation, but I believe that we had it now.
Either, but you can't talk, and then half the time he's wrong anyway. So
Yeah.
you have to remember goldfish.
Memory of goldfish. That's right.
Toad, you sound like you're underwater.
I think he's becoming a cyborg, to be honest.
He must be.
Quite possible.
He is becoming a cyborg.
We need to get Toad a better setup for this.
We do. I think
Every
we will.
weekend.
He struggles mightily.
Yeah.
Does it just sound like shit? Or,
Yes, it's
Yeah,
awful.
It sounds like you're like standing on top of a lead mine, to be honest.
Johnson, what do you got there? Is that a topic you want to talk about?
Oh, not really. I just kind of wanted to play with it, to be honest. But we can talk about it a little bit. Just a new 10.5-inch AR pistol that I put together.
does it sound?
It's
I'm
terrible,
a big fan of
Toad.
it so far. I'll show you this side because God forbid I show you this side that has this flaming horse of poor people on the side of it. But this side says Geisley automatics, so that side should impress some people, that aren't for the poors, I guess.
You're gonna give people a fucking aneurysm. You got Anderson and Geisley on the same freaking gun.
I know, isn't that crazy? An Anderson lower and a Geisley rail. Oh my God, what debauchery is this?
That's like
You're only half before then. Is that how that works?
Yeah. It was like, ooh, my tax refund ran out. Need a lower, get an Anderson. And now I had the hankering for a 10.5-inch AR pistol, and I just decided to throw one together. So if you want to go Grantham style, just like the Navy likes, we can go tip to butt. I got Surefire war comp for a muzzle device. Eventually want to run a Surefire RC2 suppressor on this thing. Geisley Mark 8 rail, 9.5-inch Mark 8 rail. Standard mil-spec shit as far as upper and bull carrier group goes. I got a Rise. Oh, son of a bitch. There, I fixed it. All right. I got a Rise armament, like RA140, their new like Rage trigger. No, I don't have a trigger guard yet. I'm an idiot. Forgot to order that. SBA 3 brace and optics. I went for a Holosun HS510C and their HM3X flip to side magnifier. So, yeah,
that's pretty neat.
Threw together. I like it. So far, it's been really fun. I don't have a lot of rounds through it. I think I've shot probably maybe 100 rounds through it, but
it's louder. It's louder than all hell.
Well, it's 10.5-inch barrel. You have to expect that.
Hey Toad, are you on your phone or computer?
Computer. Do I sound better now?
Whatever it is, you should throw it away.
Try just try disconnecting and coming back in. Maybe that'll help.
Or completely fuck my shit.
Have you turned it off and turned it back on?
That's God. Every week.
Everything. Turn it off and turn it back on.
That's usually the tried and true IT method.
That's the first thing they do when you call IT too. Every time.
That.
Have you unplugged it? No, I didn't think of that.
Yes,
freaking
I power cycled it. You piece of shit.
And the thing that really pisses me off is most times they don't believe you, so they're like, "Oh, okay, well, let's do it anyway." Yeah, I called you to waste 5 minutes of my time, you
Go ahead and power
wanker.
cycle it one more time.
Well, in their defense, they probably do talk to an awful lot of complete morons.
No,
Oh,
that is
100%.
true. That is true. Oh,
He says, "Box, you'll have to send him an invite again."
Good Lord, man.
While you're doing that, I've been having fun with my laser. I made me a coin the other day. And I was thinking I was thinking about doing something like life short, live free bucks or some shit like that. So when we start sending shirts out and stuff, we'll make some of these coins and just throw them into random packages. Maybe give some people some free bucks. I don't know, but
How about now?
that is better.
Yay!
So
You don't sound like a cyborg.
Way to go, Toad.
good.
Yeah, just call me Techie Sam. Anytime, buddy.
The
Turn
dog
it off
wanted
and turn it back
dog
on
wanted to
again.
say hi to everybody too, I guess.
Hey,
Yeah.
dog.
Hey, dog.
So what do you want to move on to, Box?
Well, we can talk about your Glock 48 and 43X stuff.
Yeah. Several months ago, I went to buy. Well, actually, right when the Rona started, I was getting into. I was going to buy me a 43X frame, which is the same frame that goes on a Glock 48. I mean, they're the same. The only difference between a Glock 43 and a Glock 43X and a Glock 48 is the length. A slide on the 48 is just a little bit longer. They use the same frame.
Not the girth.
Right. The girth is the same.
Okay.
You know, the girth is all the same. But it ships with a 10 round mag, which to me, I mean, it's the same length as a 19. I mean, this is basically the same size as a Glock 19, but it ships with a 10 round mag.
But it's like a tenth or like an eighth of an inch or 3/16 of an inch narrower, isn't it?
It is slightly skinnier, yes. But I mean, is there any point like, and I can see the point if you're in a commie state and you know you're going to carry a 10 round mag anyways. But a fellow like me, I mean, why would I carry this when I can carry a 19 and it's only barely wider? I mean, there's no freaking point.
It's slimmer in case you want to wear your yoga pants. It won't print as much.
I don't think that matters.
He needs the extra rounds, Johnson. He can't hit anything.
Yeah, right.
Well,
So anyways, back to my story. I was going to buy I have a 43 and I was going to buy a 43X frame at the beginning of this coronavirus. That shit all started. And then the frames disappeared. Usually on Gunbroker, you can buy them for $200, 100. Actually, I was finding them for 130 complete frames. Those dried up. Well, I noticed the other day they're back slightly more because prices are increased. But they don't come with, but you can buy a Shield Arms 15 round mag. And I know I've talked about these before, but I'm just getting into them again and buying them. So now you have this gun here, the same size as a 19 this way, thinner this way, and it's got the exact same capacity as a Glock 19. I think that is freaking cool as hell. Just because, I mean, basically, it's going to render my Glock 19 pointless, other than a home defense scenario, because I'm going to put a red dot on it. So now I'm going to have a much smaller package that I can carry.
I don't know how it could get any smaller.
I just went ahead and laughed at myself there because I knew you sons of bitches were.
knew where we were all headed.
Yeah. But we were talking a little bit, Johnson. We were talking about the Hellcat and the 365, and that way that the people are going towards the subcompacts. Like the market, I mean, as far as carry guns, this shit's been the same for years and years and years. There wasn't anything innovative about none of the shit people were putting out. You know, they were a little bit better guns, but now you got such smaller guns going with such a much bigger capacity.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm excited about this because it's finally something that's you guys know how much I love innovation. Well, we're finally freaking innovating in this area a little bit.
I mean, you kind of get to a point though where there's really not much more you can do. You know, a frame so wide with a grip so long can only hold so many rounds. I don't care how thin. You can have no magazine and just one by one pack the rounds up. You know, you can only have so much capacity with a grip so wide and so long. You know,
Yeah.
dimensions are what they are.
Absolutely agree. But why the hell did it take us so long to get to this point? It's 2020. We've been freaking rocking the same shit since the 1911 was designed. Why the hell did it take so long to get to where we are now?
Oh
Because
yeah.
1911, they didn't need another pistol. The 1911 was the best that's ever been built. I mean,
Except you don't. Hey, Toad, why don't you compete with the 1911?
If you don't want to have to actually shoot it.
I need to get that 28 round snail drum mag for it.
Yeah, you really need to stop bragging about them if you're not going to be using them, man.
And
Yeah, I can't
realistically, you think you put a 28 round snail drum mag on that bottom of a 1911 and think we're not going to give you shit for the 23 times it jams? Like, you got to
mine never jams.
You never shoot it.
I
now
shoot
that's a bold
it.
statement there, Cotton.
My Taurus 1911 jammed like a bitch.
Yeah.
But my Springfield, I've put probably 1,000 rounds through it. I don't know if it's ever had a stovepipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you've never put a drum mag on it either.
Those 1,000 rounds have been my hand loads, so they're all pretty well hot.
Yeah, it's not going to have a hard time getting the full cycle with those.
No.
So anyway, I'm going back. I'm getting one of these frames for my 43 because, I mean, I use a mag extension anyway, which only gives me 9 rounds, and it's as big as this. So, you know, once I run this magazine through the paces and I know that it's going to perform and I'm not worried about carrying it, I'm rocking that, and I will be putting a Hollison red dot on it and rocking that. And yeah, that's going to be my new carry gun. So I'm extremely stoked about it, man. You can carry. I'll have 15 rounds in what I got in the same size package. I got 9 in now. I mean, that's fucking cool to me. I'm digging on it hard.
It kind of sucks that like it took basically Stig building the 365 and doing the kind of 1.5 stack to even have anybody think about, well, what if we didn't make the walls of the magazine so thick and they can just kind of stack in there how they want it? You know, like it's just
right. How long? And do you think Glock is ever going to come out with their a factory option like that?
I don't know that. I don't think Glock will ever come out with a factory steel mag.
I don't think so either.
Mag, you know?
I don't think so either. Just because I think they're just too proud. They not.
Right,
I don't mean it like that, but I mean they rock polymer mags, and that's what their mags are.
Yeah,
and that's what they're known for.
I think they kind of think, well, if you want 15 rounds, we offer Glock 19, so buy that.
I agree. I agree, but you know how much,
and they're not hurting in their market share. It's not like, oh, we got to come out with one of these pistols that's this size that holds 15 rounds. It's like we have the number one concealed carry gun probably for, you know, like numbers purchased. I would say the Glock 19 is probably up there for.
Hey guys, I froze.
I agree. Yeah, you did.
I'm gonna exit out of the whole program. Well, I'm gonna exit out of the whole program, and then Box, I'll text you to send me a new one.
God.
Okay. Jesus.
Actually, it's not even letting me exit out of the program. Fuck.
Well, that's fine.
I'll just stay here and talk to you guys. It's like this. Yeah.
Well, all right then.
Well, as long as we can hear you anyway, so no big deal.
Yeah. But
so,
I don't know.
What's your whole take on? Would you ever consider? I mean, you got 15 rounds in a bigger package. Would you ever consider? Would you ever
just on live on the internet say that your brother has a bigger package? Because like that.
The way that I worded it made it clear that I wasn't talking about his unit.
Oh God.
Would you ever consider switching Box, or do you hate Glock?
Switching to a Glock?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't switch to a Glock.
Yeah.
I don't like them at all. I don't like the way they feel. I don't like the grip angle. I don't like nothing. They have decent triggers, and that's about it.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough, I suppose. Fair enough.
I will say that I think, yeah, out of like, as far as what I own, which isn't a lot as far as pistols go, but I would say that like a factory Glock trigger is probably my favorite.
Out of factory triggers?
Yeah. From like, as far as like a Springfield, Smith & Wesson, and Glock, I would say Glock is definitely my favorite factory trigger.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any issue with their factory triggers. I don't mind them. They're all right.
I don't know. What was, I don't know. Jesse's L9A2. It had a pretty good factory trigger on it.
Oh, my Steyr?
Yeah.
I was
that one
confused because you called me Jesse.
Sorry.
I'm the only one on this whole podcast that anybody calls by their first name. Because you got Fox, Johnson, and Toad.
Yeah.
You're just
God,
not
now I'm just left out.
not special enough.
Should we come up with a nickname for Sam?
Douchebag.
Dickhead.
What do our viewers think? What do you think Sam should be named? This could be fun.
This could be fun.
Everybody jump in.
You guys are real assholes, you know that?
Hey, you shouldn't have said anything, bud.
You're right. You definitely shouldn't have said anything. Let's see if
Box Toad said send him another invoice or another invite.
another invoice.
I did.
Okay.
See that box? See how seamless that was? Switch to my iPad.
That was seamless. Impressive. It's almost like you work on technology for a living.
I know, it's crazy.
I gotta say, I underestimated you.
What if I turn you this way? Is that better? Does that work better for the live box? If I turn you sideways,
I mean, it fills more of the screen, but
it looks terrible, however.
that's because you're outside in the dark.
So, yeah, that okay.
Johnson, what did you want to talk about tonight?
Just move that indoors. What am I? What?
I said, what do you got to talk about tonight?
Range belts. Like competition style, you know, your typical tactical war belt. And just kind of hear what people's opinions are. Obviously, we don't run like a real serious competition. But we do shoot for time, and I know that we haven't really done a lot of stuff that requires reloads. But I would like to just on pistols, just I guess to kind of more, I don't know, just increase the stress level. You know, just to kind of add another element to our competitions.
How do we do that?
Just by including reloads, basically. It's another movement you're going to have to know how to do, I guess. Like,
right.
I don't know how to say that. Like, it's just going to increase stress because it's an added motion. You're not just shooting the targets. You have to stop shooting and complete another task and then continue shooting.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. We've only done a small amount of reloading.
That's what I mean. Like, that's why I think I'd like to include a little more of that. But with that comes having something, even if it's just your pocket, I guess, to carry mags. But as far as like a competition war belt, range belt setup goes, what do you guys see as like what's a necessary thing that you think needs to be on your belt? Obviously, we're gonna look at like mag carriers, right? A good holster. What other things would you think you need on a belt?
For what?
Just for like a day on the range. You're gonna spend a day on the range.
Nothing. What else would you need? I
There's
mean,
a
you
lot-
could carry a med pack or a tourniquet, yeah, but as long as those are on the range.
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys that have like IFAKs on their belts,
Yeah.
which I keep mine in my range bag, just up at the truck, so I don't feel a need for that. And frankly, I'm a more of a minimalistic guy on my range belt, and really I don't even have a range belt. I just have my concealed carry belt, and that I put my mag carriers on it and slide my holster into it and call it good.
Upside down most of the time.
Yeah.
So I'm a minimalistic guy, but what else are you thinking? Like, you only run mags and a holster. What else are you thinking about putting on yours?
So the only other like things I was thinking about was I've been meaning to do a lot more like low light shooting. So like obviously I have like a weapon mounted light on like this AR pistol. I'm waiting on the offset mount, but I bought a Streamlight ProTac HLX or whatever it is for this. I'm looking at getting a Surefire Scout M600 for one of my other guns. I've got like a couple of pistol lights, and I just want to do a lot more low light shooting. So I was thinking about like having a handheld flashlight, with like a, even if it's just like a little push-in nylon pouch for it on there, and just like a big dump pouch. Just like T-Rex Arms makes a good one. It rolls up, and they have like it's almost like a bungee cord. So if you don't need it, you can just roll it up, and it doesn't take up any space. It basically just sits on the outside of the belt. But if you do need it, you can pull that bungee cord off, and it's like basically a 4-inch, like you can fit a 32-ounce Gatorade bottle in it. So it's kind of like an admin pouch. You can put a Gatorade in it. You can put your phone in it. You got a stage that, say you need 4 rifle mags or something, you can stuff a bunch of magazines in it, shit like that.
So when you mean dump pouch, you just don't mean empty magazines.
Dump a bunch
You mean
of shit in it.
A pouch
Okay.
for dumps.
Well, I took that to mean
Poop in it.
I took that to mean that's where your empty mags are going, but
No, it's just that you just dump a bunch of stuff in it.
It sounds to me, Johnson, like you just kind of want to get fully kitted out.
Not really. I want somewhere to put shit, because like I don't like having things in my pockets. So like having like a big pouch like that would be nice, and I'd like to have a flashlight because I want to do more nighttime shooting.
yeah, I could
That's
see
really
that.
the only thing I guess I would add to my belt, but
Yeah,
I just didn't know if there was other things.
I should probably buy a actual like range belt one of these days.
I'm surprised you haven't yet.
and a sling, like we've been telling you for 6 months.
I don't have an attachment on my buttstock. There's one on the front of the gun. Remember, we had a problem with that.
There is ways to fix that.
There's like
I'm just
like slots right here where the thing just goes.
The thing just goes.
turns out I'm just really lazy and haven't researched it at all.
Viking Tactics VTAC sling padded. It's $50. They're awesome.
I'll keep that in mind.
As far as other shit on my belt, I could see why a guy would want more stuff, but the way that I guess when I go out to the range, the way I view it is, more training for the real world. And I know that obviously I'm not going to have my freaking outside the waistband holster on the real world and shit. But that's kind of the way I see it as. So I want to keep my shit extremely minimalistic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I feel like muscle memory, if you're used to doing something, so if you do, I guess the way that you have your belt set up is what?
It doesn't.
Did you just have a seizure?
To me, that's. I mean, like, I understand, like, wanting to train for real world stuff, but at that point, you should really use, if you want muscle memory for real world stuff, you're going to have your concealed holster on.
There's a slot right here where the thing just goes. Oh, wait, what are we talking about here?
So that works for a lot of things, actually. No, I think I think that AR I use on our range days, I think that one's gonna get shoved into the gun safe, and I'm gonna build a different one. So it's just, if you ever watch me try to like box when he grips his he goes way out. I can't do that because my arm's too long, so I'll be out past the end of the barrel, and it just makes me feel weird holding it the way I do. So I'm gonna probably build a little bit longer one. So
Yeah.
Longer barrel.
yeah, because my freaking arm goes out past the end of the barrel, so I can't really grab it because my elbow's bent so far back that I just have to pretty much like grab it right behind the magazine, and it keeps fucking me up.
Just grab the end of the handguard and you're good to go.
Yeah, my luck box, I'd slip up and blow part of my hand off.
Well, that's why I have my I got a hand stop. Speaking of which, Jimmy's got some pretty badass hand stops. I'm Cerakoting them. Just very minimalistic things. That way, for that same exact reason, when you're, how am I going to do this without looking gay? when you slide your hand forward, it's just that's all it is a freaking stop right there. And that's what I have on my pistol. But he's got some pretty badass ones too that I think I'm going to buy and throw on the rest of my ARs.
Osaka makes some real nice minimal. It's just a knob with an M-lock slot, like an M-lock tab on it.
Right.
Osaka, really good shit. So.
Yeah, that's what I got. Just a M-lock tab on my pistol, and that's all it is a tiny little L.
Yeah.
So I got to get some more of those, but
Anybody else?
I kind of know what you guys know. I like my rimfire pistols just because they're fun and inexpensive to shoot. Volquartsen, I bought that Smith & Wesson Victory just like I'd read a lot of good things about it. Volquartsen actually makes a whole line of like new barrels, new grips, just everything for that thing. And you can basically, the only thing Smith & Wesson left on it would be like the receiver. And apparently it just turns them into tack drivers. So I think I'm going to start buying parts for that thing and make it into one hell of a little 22 pistol.
Oh, but that's going to be cheap.
It's not. It's really not.
Yeah,
You can probably buy two more of them for what it costs, but
could you buy a Volquartsen an entire gun for what it's going to cost to duke this thing out?
oh fuck no.
What do they go for?
Have you looked at what their Volquartsen 22s cost?
Nope, not a clue.
Start
just like
at like 1,200 and work your way up to like 22.
Wow, they're proud of those things.
Yes, they are.
I'm looking at the website right now. Some of these 22 pistols. Black Mamba, $1,400. Abu, $1,512. Scorpion, $1,301. Scorpion 22 WMR, $1,800. Jesus,
Wow.
Mary and Joseph.
Yeah, they are proud of those.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, I froze up again, so I'll be leaving shortly.
We're about done, so there is one last thing that I came across here. CMMG came out with a new buffer tube. They call it the fastback receiver extension, and they've made it so it has kind of a ratcheting action to it, so you don't have to press a button to pull it back. You just slide it back, and it kind of ratchets its way back.
Oh, that'd be kind of handy.
Yeah, it sounds. Yeah, they call it a rip stock and a fastback receiver extension. It sounds cool, but really, I don't understand the use of it. Why would you want that? In what case do you need that extra tenth of a second that it takes to release a button?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's necessarily like, they're not looking to really solve any specific problem.
It's a gimmick.
Solve problems that don't exist.
Well, exactly. They're thinking
problems so they can solve it.
Well, yeah. I mean, but now that I think about it, it'd be kind of cool. I don't know. I don't need it, but then again, there's a lot of shit that I don't need that I still buy.
Yeah, you applaud innovation. We know.
So basically, what is it? You just pull on it and it ratchets back?
Yeah. That's all it is.
But it doesn't.
Instead of like pushing the button up,
you just have to slide it.
Pull on it.
Which I actually foresee that causing more problems than solving any problem at all.
Yeah, I don't know if that's.
I want my stock to stay where I have it. I don't want it. Say, I don't know, you're in a tight area or something, and it gets caught on something, and it gets pulled out, and then you're stuck in an awkward position with the gun, with the stock extended at a position you don't want it to be.
Yeah, but if on the flip side of that, and I'm not disagreeing with you, because I actually agree with you, but on the flip side of that, if you're coming around a corner, like the corner of a door or something, and the bottom of your stock gets stuck on that, like say it gets caught on the corner of the door frame. Well, with this, it kind of pulls back. You keep moving maybe, versus with a stock with a button on it, all of a sudden you get stopped, and it stops your body motion. Versus maybe letting the stock extend and come off of it.
Yeah, but that's like
it's still gonna stop.
Right, but I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
You're doing a bad job.
Well, fuck you.
I think this is something that's geared towards weekend shooters, and there ain't no operators going to be using that, but they're just gearing towards their.
It's one of those things that sounds slick, and admittedly, I was like, "Ooh, that's pretty cool." When I first heard about it, then I thought about it for 2 minutes, and I was like, why?"
Yeah, what would I use that for?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, Box. It does sound cool, but I don't know as if it's the best.
And it's $60.
For what? You get the buffer? Does it come with a buffer tube, or it's just a stock?
That's what it is a buffer tube.
So if you want the ripstock and the buffer tube, take a guess at the price. So they have a full kit for the ripstock, the buffer tube, the spring and buffer. $225 kit.
Boy, I wouldn't be coughing up that kind of money.
They have their own stock for it too?
Oh yeah.
That's no, thank you. That's dumb.
Yeah, there's no way in hell I'd be coughing up that amount of money for it. No way.
Ooh.
Not happening.
Well,
I forgot.
Yeah, what, Johnston?
I forgot I got this one.
Hey, before we Box, before you time us out here. Time's out. I am wearing one of the shirts, Freedom Over Fear. I'm in the process of product testing right now. I've been wearing the same shirt all week long. Not this one. and washing it every night. So I'm putting it through the cycles, making sure we got the best quality shirts, good quality vinyl to go on it and everything, and making sure that it's going to hold up. Because I know our last ones, like the shirt that Johnson is wearing right there, that shirt did not hold up worth a shit. So if you bought that, I apologize.
The shirt itself held up. The vinyl did not hold up.
Right. Didn't hold up the best on it. Well, we've since upgraded our systems, so we got a lot better quality shirts and vinyl on there. We're using Made in America shirts, 100% Made in America. So I'm in the process of building the website. That's getting close to done, and I'm getting awful excited about knocking out some of these shirts. So I've
been trying to work on that, Sam, and boy howdy, I must have the IQ of a 2-year-old, because I tried to add one column of photos. Like I tried to, you can obviously see that I uploaded a lot of the t-shirt artwork.
Yeah.
And I tried to, we had the rows of products.
Yeah.
I tried to add one. I bet I worked on that for 35 minutes the other day. Could not get another row of products added to the shop page. And I was like, well, I am just not meant to do this.
It was extremely confusing for me to start out. And I've built a website before. I built shireworks.com from scratch. But I used a different system to build this, basically. So it was an extremely steep learning curve for me too, dude. So you're not just completely moronic, but one of these days when we're together, I'll just show you, because I figured out how it works. I got a pretty good idea on how it all goes together now. It took me a long time.
We'll have to sit down and go through it, because boy, I tell you, I tried and I was like, I'm going to have this whole website so tangled up. It was always just like close, discard, and exit. Don't save.
Yeah, no, please don't save it. Please don't save it. But yeah, within a month, I'm hoping a couple weeks, it's gonna be up and rocking. So we're gonna be putting out shirts as soon as I get some It's hard to find American made hats, but as soon as I find non-Chinese made hats, probably
that's the biggest thing.
we're gonna be rocking those as well, and I'm pretty excited about it. So keep an eye out for that in the coming days. I'm pretty stoked.
Yep.
All right. Well,
back to you, Box.
I think that's all we've got for tonight, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for stopping in. If you're new here, or if you're listening to us at a later date, we do this every other Wednesday live on Facebook, so we can chat with you guys. That's always a fun time. You can check us out on YouTube. We have quite a few ridiculous videos up there that we try to upload fairly regularly. We're on all the major podcast providers. Be sure to check out Shyworks on Facebook and Instagram, and myself. I would really, really appreciate that if you'd check me out, my page, Ballistic Imagery, on both Facebook and Instagram. That'd really help me out. I think.
And your new website, ballistikimagery.com.
Yes, also my new website. Check that out too. That would just be fantastic.
And, if you're watching on Facebook right now, just head over to the Ballistic Imagery page. There's a new post up there where you added or updated your website information, right?
Yep.
It'll be easy to find if you head over to Ballistic Imagery on Facebook.
Yeah, give me a follow. That would really help me out. I would appreciate it. I don't mean to plug myself. Could have worded that one different.
Shameless plug.
Don't mean to plug myself. Don't lie, I'll be doing that later.
Don't mean to talk myself up.
I actually went and checked out the website today. It's really well put together. Box did an awesome job, like he always does. If you're interested in the story of how Ballistic Imagery started and kind of Box's journey to finding his place at in doing photography and videography, go to the website, check out the About Me section. He did a great job. You can check out his portfolio there. He did a really good job. He did a really good job on the website, and really describes him as a person and kind of how he got to where he is. in this photography and videography thing and did a really good job there. So go check it out there.
Well,
Yep,
thank you, Johnson.
Yeah.
Very kind words. All right. That's all we have, folks. Sam, take her away.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Cliff says he's still waiting for the Salmon Box Jedi Challenge. Maybe we'll do that next time. Next time we're out at the range. But guys, thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Until we'll be back in 2 weeks. And until we talk to you next time, remember, life's short, live free. God bless, and God bless America.
All right, we're clear.
Clear.
Technologically, that was just a shit show.
Yeah.
On the tech perspective, yeah, she was a little rough around the edges.
Yeah, we're gonna have to. Is it just me, or I just don't feel like Johnson? I know you feel this too, but are you sure we're not live, Box?
Yes.
Okay, just
Good
dude,
design.